I think throughout the times that I've done watercolour, a lot of them have been about mental health, feeling lost, depression, self-harm, suicidal thoughts, those things that are very dark, but it's a real thing for men like myself that go through it. We just don't tell because the society always keeps portraying us as if we're supposed to be the big ones. We're supposed to man up every time. We're supposed to suck it up and move on. And, you know, it's not been easy telling my family about it because I kind of wanted to keep it to myself most of the time. But I can't help but tell them. But most times they are quite sick and tired of it. And, you know, I understand why. I think sometimes when they feel like they've heard too much, it's too much. But, you know, I guess I had to keep it to myself for a long time. They would ask me what's the problem, but I don't want to tell them because I don't want it to feel like a roller coaster ride for them. So at the end of the day, I'm still doing my best to try and leave everything that is making me feel so down and just put it all in a picture. I recently discovered people that are, you know, famous, such as Angus Cloud, that have passed away from their mental health, whether they were overdosing through drugs, whether they're just hanging themselves, whether they're just, you know, causing a lot of other self-harm. It makes me sad when they go through situations like this. I always want to make sure that I kind of find a way to kind of get people to talk and try and not suffer in silence. I'm guilty of that for going through situations where I suffer in silence and just leave it and just suck up and move on, because I'm afraid that people might think it's weak to just cry or to feel sad or whatever. But at the same time, you know, sometimes you gotta get your things together, learn how to overcome the situation that you're in, and it's not very easy, but there's always a way. There's a way, there's a will, as we all say. So I leave this painting to describe me. This is me at my lowest, in times where I felt like this is it, I've let everyone down, I'm disappointed in myself, but I also hate myself. And, you know, it's a lot of negativity, yes I know, but I'm sure everyone goes through that situation. It shouldn't be normalized, but it's something that we and myself need to work on. So hopefully by then, whenever I get to be an artist full time, or I get to achieve something that I never really achieved ever since I've been through situations like this, or let go of the past, because the past mistakes that I make, or every mistake I made after a good day, it just feels like my day's ruined, and just I can't carry on because I'm worried that I might ruin it more, and it just overtakes all the good days that I have it, which is a habit that I have myself, to have that situation where things are going great, but I don't want to keep saying it's going great because I don't want to overdo it or ruin that momentum where when it's going great, it goes great. So if it goes great, it leaves me feeling surprised sometimes, because it just feels like it never happens to me. It feels like it never actually works. It just feels the same. It's like, I know that people may go through situations where they have their good days and their bad days, but throughout the years of discovering how negative I was and how much this self-hatred and not being kind to myself, it felt like every day I was just suffering most of the time, and it sucks. But again, I gotta learn how to face these things sometimes. I always just want to make sure that every time someone goes through it, I would want to reach out to them. Please talk to somebody about this, because it isn't too late to go through situations like this and resolve them. Some people may think it's the end, and you know, there's a lot of pressure involving the things that we do around, like losing our jobs that we love doing and not having the motivation to find another one, or failing at uni, thinking it's the end of the world because you spent so much money on the degree, but then it's just like everything is just going kaput. It's going downhill. It just feels like the end. There was a time where I had my first job at Hasty Tasty, which is a random name, I know. When I lost my job there, I just felt like a complete failure. I got the sack. I didn't think I was doing that bad, but it put a lot of pressure on me, because then I had to find another job, and then I was just suffering through it, finding ways to try and find something, to try and work hard, to just have less sleep, which is the thing that we go through. No sleep. And it really sucks that we don't go through sleep, and we just feel like it's just a drag. And you know, the amount of weight we carry on, it just feels like we're not going nowhere. Even when it feels like we're trying to achieve something, it's like you're running throughout the whole entire time, but you're not even moving. You're just running, and it's just darkness. That's all you can see. But at the same time, that's what it feels like when it comes to these situations. So maybe I do want to make artwork that are based on mental health, but on the topics such as, you know, self-kindness, but also like stuff that we go through, an important message for people like myself, like hiding our feelings or not feeling like we're, you know, loved by anyone, or just having a picture of us feeling down and not having to, you know, let it all out, or just showing that I can do a painting of letting things out, because that's the best way to do it, or battling with your demons. It's the shocking thing. It feels like, you know, your head is what's causing the problem. So now that's what it feels like. And you know, I would say don't share too much of that to your parents, because even if it feels like an ongoing battle and they've had to deal with that through you, it becomes tedious for them, and you kind of need to save it for a therapist or a friend, maybe, depending on how the friend takes it. But therapy is the one of the things that are very important, especially in this day and age. You need it for yourself, so then that way it can help you learn how to be kind to yourself. So I hope you come away from this understanding where the painting's coming from, but also understand that it's never too late. It never has been too late. It's always a way.